Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal!
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV and welcome to a rain-sodden Cardiff City Stadium. But it's not going to dampen the moods around this park this evening, not quite yet, because for the first time since November the 5th, myself and John Donovan welcome you to Cardiff City TV on the back of a Cardiff City win. 2-0 away at Birmingham City, as if you didn't already know, on Valentine's night on Tuesday. John was there. Was it as romantic in person as it was over the airwaves?
Oh, well, you know, Sam and myself held each other afterwards. Such was the emotion. No, it was a fantastic evening. Let's be honest, actually, it wasn't a classic game of football. Cardiff earned the right to win in what was a battle, but all the players stood up to be counted. It was really good to see that team spirit, that team ethos, that structure, that template to play off with the three centre-halves and the wing-backs. And I think we earned the right to play and we earned the right to win. And in the second half, while we didn't create lots of goal-scoring opportunities, we were the better side. We had more time in the attacking third. And in the end, we just wore Birmingham down and we deserved the win. It was a big emotional release for the players, for us in the commentary box, for the fans that travelled. There were great scenes afterwards. It's a win that draws Birmingham a little bit closer, and that's what we want to do to Reading tonight. It was just a feel-good, and we needed it.
I think that was the important thing, wasn't it, is that you said we earned the right to play, because I think many people looking at that Birmingham team, and not a Birmingham team in great form, let's be honest, but many people looking at that Birmingham team will say they will be fine because they have a sprinkling of quality that some others don't at that end of the table. We saw none of that from them on Tuesday because Cardiff kept them bottled up for 90 plus 7 minutes or whatever it was.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was a clean sheet, but it wasn't anywhere near a hanging-on clean sheet. And I'm not sure Ryan Alsop really had a stop to make. Of course, Joe Rawls made a fantastic last-ditch tackle in the closing seconds. But the structure that we played off, the three midfielders and the three centre-halves were just so solid as a foundation. The Birmingham, they couldn't play through us, they couldn't really go around us. They tried to go long to Jukovic, and I thought Mark McGuinness was immense against him. Didn't win everything, but just made life so difficult, and he might have to do that again tonight against Andy Carroll. The whole team was just full of endeavour, full of work rate, but full of a plan as well. Sabri Lamouchi didn't stop on the touchline the whole game with what I'm calling his active coaching, along with Dean Whitehead and Sol Bamba. There's not a lot of work going on the training pitch at the moment, actually, because the games are coming thick and fast and the manager's only been in for 2 weeks, so he's coaching on the job. And the communication to his players and how the players took those messages on and then how they went and applied those messages, that was just what was so enthusiastic and so joyful about Tuesday night. Not a classic game of football, but Cardiff City applied their game plan and they beat the opposition and they beat them deservedly.
I guess the question I've got then is, and obviously the game was settled by a bit of quality from Callum Robinson. The draw was eased away with an outrageous bit of quality by Perry and G. But was the performance that much different from what we saw at Hull and Luton when it was spirited, wholehearted? Or was the difference just that we managed to add that goal to turn it into a win and not concede the sloppy goal at the other end?
There weren't huge differences, Ash. I would say there were subtle differences, and I would say particularly the two up front. And I know we've done that at times under Sabri Lamouchi, not least at home against Middlesbrough in possession of the ball. But I think that really worked. Just keeping the centre-halves busy, but with Marlon, Romeo and Callum O'Dowda with slightly higher starting positions up the pitch. When the midfielders won second ball, and that's what we did really well on Tuesday night. We won far more second ball. Two big strikers competing. It wasn't an easy win for the centre-halves. The midfielders could then go and win second ball, and they had a player in Romeo and they had a player in O'Dowda who were higher up the pitch to play with the ball. Andy Rinomotto was absolutely exceptional, linking midfield to attack and running beyond his strikers. And I can only assume he's exhausted tonight, and also in the heat of that magical Perry NG free kick, you forget that just before that he took quite a heavy knock. So I assume that's why he's on the bench tonight. But no, you're right. There has been a structure and a pattern of play since Sabri Lamucci came in. The slight tweak in system and formation, I think, was the major difference of Cardiff. Two big men up front. Again, not pretty. We did go a lot more direct. You didn't see Ryan Allsop playing out from the back. They competed with the centre-halves. We won more second ball. And then when we did, we had players in advanced positions to attack and make use of that second ball. So, short answer to my long answer to your question. Not a huge amount of differences, but a few important subtle differences.
A huge tactical win then here, John Donovan's notion from Tuesday night for Sabri Lamouchi. Let's hear what the Cardiff manager himself had to say when we caught up with him earlier this week.
It was a great performance and fantastic result for us in Birmingham. So we will play tomorrow night, the third game in 6 days only. So big rhythm, but we need to keep going, to move on, and to try to stay in this kind of performance, and maybe this kind of result would be a great idea as well. Around the club, they feel something, but it's just one win. So we need to stay focused. We have one goal, to give our best in all games, home, away, because we need a point. We need a point. We need to go out in this situation, because I think the club, the players, the fans didn't deserve to be where we are, and just working hard, working together with one, looking in the same way, working together in right intensity like we face in the game, because a championship game, they are all difficult, all different. Middlesbrough was different than Birmingham, and Reading will be the same. A new game, a new story, to start the game in the best way than the last one at home. Different opponent, different attitude, but with this last game, this result, I hope we keep a little bit more confident, and we will see on tomorrow night what we will do. Yes, but the people need to understand I'm here just 2 weeks, not more than 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks we play 4 games. So the rhythm is just unbelievable. And with my staff, with the players, with the people in the club, we try to find the right system, the best solution, the best option to go out and to be where we deserve to be. It was a great performance and fun.
Sorry to chuckle. I got Mark Denham screaming in my ear. Not literally. We're showing highlights here at Cardiff City Stadium of former encounters with Reading, and Lee Tomlin's late equaliser from that promotion years just gone in. Cardiff this evening, though, off the back of that Birmingham City game in midweek, looking for their first home win, let's not forget, since October. Also looking for just the second time this season back-to-back wins. Then they came in October as well, here at home against Blackburn, and then away at Wigan to back that up. It feels really important to back that game up with a positive result again this evening. It should go without saying.
You're absolutely right, Ash, because on Tuesday, you know, the nature of Perry NG's goal, a little bit out of the blue, but the nature of the performance and Sol Bamba's celebration at the end, and Sabri Lamouchi joined him on the pitch, and there's been so few feel-good factors this season so far that it really felt good on Tuesday night. Well, you want to go on and build from that now. It's You know, one swallow doesn't make a summer. We are still mired in a relegation battle. We need to pick up points. So as good as Tuesday was, it can't be done in isolation. It has to be carried on, and you have to use that momentum, that confidence now to take it into the dressing room. And we hear from all the players, and Perry and G said it again, just what a motivator Sabri Lamouchi is, and he'll be playing on that. He's trying to give confidence to these players. He keeps talking them up. I've got a good squad. They played very well. They deserve that win. The fans deserve that win. And he seems to be creating a feeling of positivity despite losing his first 3 games. So to do that against that backdrop with that win on Tuesday, absolutely, you've got to carry that momentum into tonight.
I'm looking to carry that momentum in. 2 changes from the team. We've had discussions about how they might line up. You think it's a continuation of the 3 at the back. I think we're going 4-4-2. The reality might be that it's somewhere in between.
Absolutely. I'm trying to look over my shoulder to see how they're warming the defence up, and it does look like a back 4, so I'm going to bow to you, because they're doing the header exercise at the moment, and it's Kipre and McGuinness and NG and O'Dowda, so it does look like a 4. I'm a little surprised. I thought Sabri Lamouchi has been talking about trying to find a system that suits his team, and it seemed on Tuesday he had, but at home he wants to go for it, he wants to win points, so maybe he feels horses for courses, he can go to a back 4 tonight. So it does look like a back 4, but a back 4 with flexibility. Jaden Philogene, in my lineup, I had him as a right wing back. He played 20 minutes there on Tuesday. He's obviously not a right wing back by trade. I thought he did okay. We all know that he does his defensive due diligence and he can spring forward. So there's flexibility in this lineup tonight. It does look like Cardiff are going to start with a 4, so then that goes to your formation. But if needs be, or if they get a lead, or whatever happens here tonight, they've got some flexibility in their lineup, and that can only be a good thing.
Those 2 changes then, just to confirm, it's the 2 wide, where we think of the 2 wide men. Callum Robinson, of course, goal scorer on Tuesday night, and Jaden Philogene coming in for Andy Rinomhota and Marlon Romeo. The one thing that does remain, the 2 big men up top.
And I like that. I know we've talked at the last 2-3 years about more progressive football. Just by having 2 big men up there doesn't mean you absolutely just have to play route 1. But what I like about it, to go back to my point before Sabri Lamouchi's interview, it allows you to win the ball higher up the pitch, and then you can play nice football. By having 2 bigger men who can compete for first contact, make life more difficult for the opposing centre-halves, which means they don't get a clean header or they don't get a clean first contact, and then your midfielders can go to work. It doesn't mean it's direct, horrible-looking football. It allows you to get up the pitch quicker, and it allows you then to perhaps win more second ball. And from there, more pragmatic. Let's get higher up the pitch. I'm very.
Callum, let's start with Tuesday's match. Brilliant result, and one that I think we certainly deserved.
Yeah, I think we've been close for over the last 2-3 months. I know it doesn't look great with the results, but I think in a lot of them games it's been a goal or 2 or last minute goal from the opposition, and I feel like we've been very unlucky, so it was nice to get 2 late goals and get that win.
And a goal for you against Birmingham, that must have been a good feeling for you personally. Yeah,
I've scored against them before, but never at St Andrews, so I always wanted to score there. As I said, coming through Aston Villa, it was always a big fixture. It was always a big game, but I've never got to score at St Andrews, so I was. You could see in my reaction, and just for myself and the boys and where we're at, it was just a massive goal anyway. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
Reading coming here for a Friday night game. What have you made of them this season?
If I can remember rightly, the seasons go so quick, but they started well. They started really well, but yeah, they've got a lot of experience, a lot of players that have played in this league for a long time and higher as well in the Premiership. So we know that they're a threat, but at the same time, we know that we've got a lot of ability, and obviously they got the win on Tuesday night as well, and we got the win. So it should be a good game. But yeah, I still back us to obviously get the win. These are still the games that we do need to win, and I think we can do that.
And after Tuesday, everyone's got a spring in their step. There's renewed confidence around the place. It's key to take that forward now, isn't it? Onto Friday and then onto the next matches.
Yeah, of course it helps a win, especially when we went so long without one. Just getting that feeling and, as I said, confidence. And it's tough when you're in the rut we was and not getting a win. It is tough for us boys that want to be coming in every Monday or every day after a game, upset or down. So it was nice on Wednesday to have that moment. But if we can have a good result on Friday night as well, then we've had a real good week. And as you said, hopefully we can continue on our good form.
Welcome back. I'm led to believe you lost us momentarily there before that last interview with Callum Robinson, but we are back, thankfully. Back here for this home game this evening as well with Reading, and a Reading team that have had some tough sledding themselves coming into this game. Had a win in midweek though, turned around a 1-0 deficit to a Lee Peltier goal, and you know things are going against you when Lee Peltier scores his first goal in 9.5 years. But they fought back for a 2-1 win. They first 3 points of 2023. Just 1 win in 7 in the championship for them, 1 win in their last 11 away from home. But they do have quality. However, John, for the first time this season, I think I'm more perplexed by an away team selection, or rather an opposition team selection, than I am one of my own. They have gone very defensive.
They have, and it makes you think, are there injuries after to Tuesday night or to take out, because there are 5 changes in total and there's some influential players are out. Is there a sickness bug going through, or is it Paul Ince just saying we are going to line up very defensively, and if Cardiff are going with that 4-4-2, which we now think, they've got 3 dogged players in the middle of the park, they can win that midfield battle perhaps. I wonder whether Paul Ince is thinking we're 9 points clear of Cardiff. If we don't get beaten here tonight, chances are that we're probably going to be safe. So pragmatic from Paul Ince, you would think. I do think there's slightly more behind it, but those 3 midfielders, they're not the most creative midfielders in the world, but they can make life very difficult if that game turns into a bit of a battle and a contest in the middle third tonight. Yeah,
let's concentrate on those changes then. 5 changes in the starting 11, and let's look at the positives from a Cardiff point of view. No Tom Ince in the starting 11. Look, we know Tom Ince has never flourished into the player that he threatened to be as a youngster, but he's still a quality operator at the championship level, and he tends to play well against Cardiff. So thankfully he's on the bench to start this evening. No Shane Long in the 18. No Jeff Hendrick in the 18, who I'm still a massive admirer of. Baba Rahman drops out of the team as well, and Tom Holmes hasn't made it with his calf injury. So Tom McIntyre continues in the holding role, despite the fact they've got centre-half back fit. Scott Dan, 36-year-old Scott Dan, comes back into the centre of the back 3. And Mamadou Loum, who's served his suspension, he comes back into a midfield 3 as well. 3 holding midfielders by the look of it.
You're absolutely right, and that's why I think, I don't know, it must be injuries or illness rather than out-and-out tactical, because Baba Rahman, I think, is a nice balance on the left, or Hoylett on the right. He's an attacking outlet, and like you, I'm a huge fan of Hendrick. He's scored a lot of goals this year, but it's his assists and creativity, his ability to keep and manipulate the ball. If he's fit, he plays, I would assume. So those are the 2 big surprises. I guess we'll hear from Paul Ince after the game, but it's a very pragmatic, very defensive lineup. It could still be an effective lineup. I say again, those 3 dogged midfielders, they could stifle Cardiff in the middle of the park, particularly if it's a 3-on-2 battle in there. But you do wonder a little bit where the creativity is going to come from. Of course, former Bluebird, Junior Hoylett, he can hurt Cardiff, but you've got to think they're going to go back to front quite quickly and look to play off Andy Carroll.
Let's talk about it then. He's wearing the captain's armband this evening for Reading as well. Andy Carroll, 5 goals in his 21 games already this season. Got 5 goals in 23 games between his spells at Reading and West Brom last season. We know he's a canny old operator. It's not going to be pretty, but the potential clash between he and McGuinness this evening could be mouth-watering.
It could be, and I think there'll be a lot of dark arts, off the ball stuff. Andy Carroll can do that. Mark McGuinness has got to play like he did on Tuesday against Jukovic, who was trying to wrestle him, trying to manhandle him, would leave the elbow in occasionally, and I'm not criticising that. I'd want my striker to do that if you can get away with it. And McGuinness played it beautifully. He went close when he had to. He allowed Jukovic to have first ball when he needed to and then win the second challenge. He's got to do that tonight against Carroll. But Carroll, when he stays fit, he's another level above Jukovic. So it's going to be a big test for Mark McGuinness tonight. One I think he'll revel in. But yeah, Andy Carroll, he can still do it when he's fit. Yes, he's got disciplinary issues. He got sent off in the FA Cup against Liverpool, and there are always fitness concerns. But his technical ability, as well as being a man mountain, means he's going to be a very difficult opponent for Cardiff City.
And you've already mentioned Junior Hoylett, 184 games in a Cardiff shirt, you know, a legend around these parts. A handful of those as a wing back, and he was a handy wing back. I never thought we'd see him play the best part of a season and a half as an out-and-out wing back and play in there week in, week out, twice a week when needed.
Well, I remember Neil Warnock felt forced into playing him as a wing back. I think it was a Friday night against Wolves in the Premiership, and I quite like the idea because, again, you know, Junior Hoylett always did his defensive work well. Never blessed with great speed, so he's not an out-and-out winger. Looks after the ball incredibly well, and I always thought he could defend, but he played there once and never really played there again for Cardiff. We won that night. I thought he was exceptional. I think he might have scored as well. I think he's a canny operator. He's a shrewd operator. Yeah, maybe surprised to see him as a wing back, but it's not something you think is completely out of his capability as a footballer, because he does work hard, and my word, he always looked after the ball so well. And the other point, Ash, always very good at drawing set pieces. So with Andy Carroll in the lineup and Scott Dan back in the lineup, Cardiff have just wanted to be careful not to give away too many set pieces in the attacking third.
And finally then, switch attention back to Cardiff a little bit. I was very excited when he signed him. I know you were as well. And despite the fact that the first half of the season didn't really go his way, there was a lingering doubt that Romain Sawyers has a part to play this season for Cardiff City, and the last two games has really shown that, isn't it?
Well, it's a little bit of two particular things, I think, for Romain Sawyers. I'm not sure this team, this first 11, has had a lot of leaders through the season. You had McGuinness back in there now, but I think Romain Sawyers is a leader. He constantly talks. You might think he's got a bit of a languid style, but watch him on the pitch, constantly talking. And I think he's probably got the best footballing ability of all the midfielders. So, yeah, maybe he's a bit one pace these days, but you don't lose that football IQ, and he can still ping a pass, he can still slow the game down, he can speed it up. He's playing his way back into form. He hasn't played for the best part of 18 months, and there will still be mistakes. There were a couple of times on Tuesday he coughed up the ball and almost led to counter-attacks, but I want to persevere with him because I think he uses the ball better than any other Cardiff City midfielder, and I think we need that.
And he not only demands the ball, but he demands it and uses it in areas of the pitch and at times of the game that other people won't.
He's brave, and he uses that experience to be brave. He'll play from his own penalty box, he'll try and keep possession, and he'll try and set off transition and a counter-attack. Like I said, playing his way back into form, but I'm a big fan.
Right, Cardiff last season at Reading. It was Valentine's on Tuesday. Last season, when they first came in 12 games against Reading, they haven't won here at home in 6. Tonight would be an ideal opportunity for the Bluebirds to record back-to-back wins for just the second time this season. We are 7 minutes or so from finding out how that goes here on Cardiff City TV. Thanks for joining us. We've got an interview with Cedric Keepery coming up right now.
Cedric, big win in midweek, and it was a long time coming, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a very long time, but obviously very happy because we've been working hard for the win. Obviously the last few games have been very, very frustrating, I think, and the whole team think as well that we've been doing well, but maybe not well enough because of the results. But yeah, it's very good, and especially for the spirit of the team as well, to finally get the 3 points and a clean sheet.
And it was a great free kick from Perry. Did you expect that from him when he stepped up?
To be honest, he took a few at training, and I know he's about to do stuff like this, but I wouldn't think he would take it in the game. But yeah, I'm happy for him.
And you played with him and now with Mark McGuinness in defence. You set a strong partnership with Mark. What's he like to play with?
Mark is good, you know. He's good to play with. We haven't played a lot together, obviously, but I think that we match well, you know. he speaks to me all the time for 90 minutes. I speak to him as well. So I trust him, he trusts me. So I think it's a good partnership.
And for you now, time into your spell here at Cardiff City, how are you finding everything at the club, the lads and the fans as well?
You know, it's an amazing club, amazing fans. I felt the love from day one, you know, first day I came here, first game. But yeah, I'm enjoying my time here, you know, I'm playing, I'm feeling confident as well because people at the club trust me and it feels good to be back on the pitch and playing every games, you know. But I'm trying to help the team as much as I can and hopefully we stay in the league.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV.
What a finish, what a goal.
Good evening, welcome to Cardiff City TV, welcome to the Cardiff City Stadium. A rain-sodden winter evening here in the Welsh capital. Wind and light rain swirling around the bowl of this stadium as we await arrival of the two teams. Cardiff looking to build on that Valentine's Day win in England's second city on Tuesday night. The free kick from Perry and G, the icing on the cake from Callum Robinson, late on Cardiff's first win since bonfire night. Starting to think we might only win on minor calendar holidays. Cardiff have won 2 on the bounce once this season. That was back in October. October was when they last won at home as well, and that's what they're looking to overcome this evening against Reading, as the two teams are led out by captains Ryan Wintle and Andy Carroll. Weather-wise, it's a hideous evening here in Cardiff, but they overcame some pretty terrible conditions in terms of the playing surface on Tuesday night at Birmingham to seal all 3 points. What Cardiff wouldn't give to back that up with another win this evening. And they make 2 changes to the starting lineup, we think is a change of shape